The college basketball experience, Big East Conference 2025-26 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is John Sally, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes! 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 Woo! Welcome! Welcome to the college basketball experience, Big East Conference 2025 season preview episode. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. I know it's been football season through and through for the past few months, but I'm headed to ACC Media Days tomorrow. I did not pack my lunch, just an airport bottle of Jameson for when I can step away to the bathroom. I'm joking, but sort of. YouTube, it's basketball season too now. It's starting. It's official. And it starts, I feel like this conference is one that we talked about this a little bit pre-episode. I think it might be my favorite power conference these days with all this realignment bullshit going on. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
You know, I think this conference has some of the most fantastic coaches. But sometimes I can be lemon-headed on picking some of those coaches. And you saw it. I knew that Arkansas game was going to give me a hard time. I knew it. I was like, that's the one I'm nervous about. And I stubbornly still said, fuck them. I'm going in. I am joined by my co-host, who is also the host of the College Football Experience, and we will be going live in a couple hours here, talking database top 25 over there. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, where he was part of a Final Four season, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Monetlon Mac. What's up, man?
What's up? Yes, I love the Big East, the tradition. Basketball fans, this is your league, man. All basketball in this league, baby. Cheers.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
I mean, I watch Georgetown every Saturday in football, dude. So, I mean, look, they had a great there's a couple Butler still doing it. If anything, UConn doing it in an 8 or 9 win season last year. Jim Mora, a friend of the program, but I get your point. But I will challenge all these schools to bring them back. All right, Marquette, bring it back. Creighton, bring it back. Providence, I don't know that you ever had it, but if so, bring it back. St. John's, definitely bring it back. And speaking of bringing it back, this guy, he's the king of bringing it back. All right, give it up for the host of the College Baseball Experience. He's blue and gold through and through, or blue and yellow. What do you say?
Maize
blue and gold. Maize and craisins and shit like that. Give it up for the great Noah Bienick. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. Big East is one of my favorite basketball conferences because it's a primary basketball conference, and I can't wait to talk about a lot of these. We were talking pre-show, and maybe this is just me, or maybe a lot of other people have this misunderstanding as well. Colby, I thought the rev share, or at least the spending for leagues would kick in this year. And I had that thought process when looking at a lot of these teams, and I'm like, I don't know. I thought that the Big East would be better in the rev share era, and I guess I didn't know that it didn't begin this year.
No, yeah, I think it'll be the next calendar year. And I mean, some of them probably broke the rules if they had the resources.
Not college athletics.
Yeah, but from what I understand, and I read an article about this like the past week, is most of that, unless you got someone incredibly late, I think it's all
okay
next year.
Because I think that this conference is going to be really good in the rev share era when everybody's got the $20.1 million to spend around all of their athletic department. Because this conference is really going to focus on basketball, whereas a lot of others are going to focus on football, rightfully so. But I think that's really going to help out the Big East, and I don't necessarily think that they're kind of up to that standard this year, which can kind of make sense to me now thinking about it.
Yeah, well, no, the how I stumbled upon this was I read an article about Seton Hall.
Okay.
And Seton Hall, from what I understand, only used, I think, $1.5 million for this roster. And
it doesn't even look like it's a $1.5 million roster.
Yeah, well, they were saying that, luckily for them, they're in a conference. And I don't even know that the whole article was centered around Seton Hall. I think it was around just rev share in general. But they pinpointed that they're going to be bailed out of it, but it won't be this will be starting the next year once they get that money, I believe, from trickled down. So
cool.
I think it became legal in July 1st, was it? July 1st.
Yeah, I remember now I remember that because there was a huge rush for a lot of baseball players to sign before July 1. So yeah, I guess that makes sense to me. And looking at the rosters, I can see that. Last year, predictions-wise for this conference, Colby killed it with the St. John's regular season pick. He did venture away from that.
Double-edged sword, though.
Yeah, he did venture away from that as well, though. He took Villanova to win the Big East tournament. So that one didn't quite work out as well.
Well, you never want. I knew I was going to be taking them to go to the Final Four, so I didn't want them to win the.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So you're trying to get strategic on, like, man, I don't want
to rig it.
Yeah. So
which I know you already called me maize and blue or whatever, but my Florida Gators, they won the SEC tournament too. So I don't know, maybe throw that out the window now.
That's true. There are a couple examples of that. Yeah.
Mac had St. John's winning the conference tournament, so shout out to them. I had it in my notes for the St. John's team preview, but I'll just say it now. It was the first regular season title for St. John's since 1992, first conference tournament title since 2000. So huge year for the Johnnies, the Red Men, the Red Storm, whatever you want to call them there. Mac had Creighton winning the regular season. I had UConn. I had Xavier winning the conference tournament. That was also wrong. The sleepers. So I had Xavier as a sleeper. Colby had Xavier as a sleeper. They finished 8th 2 seasons ago. Last year, they climbed all the way up and finished tied for 4th, 13-7. So their record the year prior was 9-11, 4 wins of improvement. That's good enough in the power leagues, difference-wise, to make up a sleeper. Mac had Georgetown, who went 8-12 last year, and they were 2-18 the year prior. So also another hit.
That's a hometown play. I get
also another hit there on the sleeper. And then for bust, he had the bold call of UConn. And we said last year, I listened to the part, and we said if they slip out of the top 2 spots, we'll give it to them. So they finished 3rd. They go 14-6 in the Big East, 8th seed in the NCAA tournament. I'd say that was a little bit of a down year. Don't know if it's complete bust, but they were maybe a little bit of a disappointment. I hit a home run here with Seton Hall. They go 2-18 in Big East play last year, 7-25 overall. And Colby had Providence, which was also a good hit, 6-14 last year and 12-20 overall. They were 10-10 in Kim English's first year, 21-14. So Colby had the regular season winner, Mac had the conference tournament winner, and we all basically swept sleepers and busts. So
good year.
Good preview last year.
And you guys would co-sign what I'm saying on like out of the power conferences, I mean, I guess maybe you can make a case that the SEC is one that hasn't gotten like completely bad shit crazy. But seeing the other ones, like this is by far my favorite power conference. Like if you tell me I can watch just a couple games, if I'm on a flight or something where you don't have a 10 TV setup or something, then I would probably choose the Big East over any other conference. Now, obviously the matchups can differ and stuff like that, but I think
I love the round robin format. Everybody plays everybody twice,
and it's somewhat regional. I mean, you got Creighton out there
in DePaul.
It doesn't even look that bad nowadays.
Yeah. No, that's actually pretty regional when that's your most unregional team, and you throw in the Garden for the Big East tournament at the end of the year.
True.
A lot of tradition in this league.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a phenomenal product that they do, and yeah, I'm excited to for this upcoming season, and it goes to let's start things off because. All right. We thought he might be fired. I think we probably did 10 episodes.
I know we fired him.
Where we fired him, right? And I'm rooting for him. I'm still rooting for him. By the way, look at the vampire known as Rick Pitino there.
Fantastic.
But the great Thad Matta, who has 486 career wins. But damn, I thought when Butler, this is more proof. I feel like I use football examples more, but it's rarely been the case when you get that second time at the same stop, does it really work? Can you think of like how many times, like my first thought was like John Robinson, second time at USC? No. There's a bunch of these examples where you think, oh, it's going to work. And then the second time, it's just not the case. For whatever reason why, I feel like more often than not, the second time just doesn't work out the same way the first one did. But Thad is in a critical year. I will say this, and I commend Butler in this regard. I believe he has basically said out loud they have not had the money to buy a good roster. That might, well, can he, the question is can he hang on till next year's cash comes pouring in, or are they going to say, well, now we have all this money, let's go get a different coach? I don't know, but it makes for pretty entertaining stuff. The Butler Bulldogs, and surprise, surprise, there's not much returning besides one of the greatest names in college basketball, Finley Bizjack.
Hell yeah.
Who is a baller. Besides him, it's just Evan Haywood on the bench that's returning. Now they went out in the portal, and I actually think even before the rev share, I want to say, and if someone knows Butler a little bit closer to me, I want to say they did, even before the rev share, I think they invested a little more than they traditionally were starting this season, or maybe starting, I remember that being a headline somewhere. But Jalen Jackson comes in from IPFW Airport. This guy averaged almost 20 points a game there. We'll see if he can do it on this stage. Yame Butler comes in from the Drexel Dragons. Michael
Ajayi.
Yeah, I always struggle with that because I always struggle with that last name.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like there's a lot of that last name, Ajayi, and for some reason I always hesitate when I see that. I go, wait.
He was a stud at Pepperdine, and then he transferred in Gonzaga. There was some hype on him last preseason. I think I'm buying into the post-hype season for Ajayi this year.
And Drayton Jones, the big man, comes in from South Carolina State, which your boy there, Mac, Coach Martin there, and then Johan Traore from SMU comes in, as well as Jamie Kaiser Soze from Maryland transfers in. And my favorite, though, is 4-star freshman guard, Stink Robinson.
Love it.
Stink Robinson coming in there. I think we might have a new favorite player moving forward, folks. I see. I'm just so you know how many times we've gotten burned on Butler since we've been doing the show. I feel like this team has cost me. I think the TMZ fans would say Dundee with St. John's. No, this is the team that I think has burned me the most since doing the college basketball experience to me in the Big East. So I'm a little reluctant to think he's going to just get things going. But let me be as high as I can be reluctantly. They will flirt with the bubble, but not make it.
Like the other couple years here.
What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, I felt like that was the team that could have made the tournament. They were 18-15. Then last year, they just were really inconsistent, bad defensively, and just completely inconsistent. Even though I liked the roster last year coming in, this year, a lot of guys transferring up here, to taking a step up in weight class coming into the Big East. I think that they could be a middle of the pack team, but I think probably going to finish more the same around that 8-9 range. In his 3 years, Thad Matta, 9th place, 8th place, 8th place. Unfortunately, I think it's more the same.
Do you just forget how to coach? I'm always been puzzled by this. I mentioned the John Robinson in football because it was the first one that my brain thought of. But this has happened a bunch. I just can't think of all of them. Right now on the fly. I didn't prep for that.
So this would be my thought process, and I'm hoping Mac would be able to tell me I'm right or I'm wrong. But after joining new programs and having to reform your staff, potentially you get surrounded by somebody that you don't necessarily align with totally or has a different philosophy than you do on the offensive side or defensive side of the ball. And then you may actually buy into it, and that's not kind of your strength, maybe. I don't know.
I was gonna say he did. I mean, Thad has lost a shitload of good coaching on his coaching tree. I mean, John Gross was a former assistant of his. Sean Miller was on his staff as well. So I mean, he's lost good guys to that have their own programs now, and maybe that's been a reason. I thought this was gonna work when he came back. I'm kind of surprised.
I mean, had you asked me pre him going to Butler,
yeah.
Somewhere in between. I actually went to a Butler game when it was Jordan coaching, and he was there in attendance. He sat next to us, me and NC Nick. But he, I would have said, I think he's a top 10 to 15 coach in college basketball. Because when you looked at his track record, I mean, his worst season was 17-15 the final year at Ohio State when they fired him, which it was almost unbelievable that they fired him because the guy had gone 337 and 123 with the Buckeyes, and he had made the NCAA tournament all but 2 years, I think it was. Played in the or maybe it was 3 years. Played in the national championship. So it was I'm just of the opinion that the guy was a really good basketball coach. I've been puzzled at why it has not worked out here. And I'm hoping that maybe with this influx of cash, but he's got to get there. And I don't know that he will. I think if he loses this year, he's done.
Yeah.
And all three.
I was going to say he also sat out for 5 years.
Yeah.
His last year in Columbus was 2017. He came back to college in 2022. That's a long time to sit out.
And it radically changed in about 2021 with the transfer portal.
Yeah, and he's had some health issues too. So I think he kind of just got older. And this era may not be for Thad Matta.
In all 3 seasons he's been at Butler, the Bulldogs have had a bottom 4 defense in the Big East.
I know.
And only one of those 3 seasons did Butler rank in the top half offensively, and that was just last year. But they do lose a lot of that team. They only bring back Finley Bizjack, who, I mean, my gosh, he shot 43% from 3-point range. They've got some interesting portal gets, a lot of them mid-majors. But it really relies on the defense for me. And if that flops again on that side of the ball, I don't think this offense is good enough to keep it afloat.
Yeah. I mean, what would save his job? Do you think he has to make the NCAA tournament?
No, just don't finish in that bottom. I think the bottom 3 this year is really bad in the Big East. I think it's really bad. Just finish 7th or 8th, and you get to the rev share. Then.
I think Noah's right. I think if he has a winning record, I think that would be a more headed in the right direction, like an 18-15 or 19-14, where they flirt with the bubble, they just miss out, and then next year but if he throws out another losing season, another 15 win season, I don't see how they don't move on from him. I mean, that'd be 3 out of 4 losing years at Butler.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I have 3 teams below Butler in this league.
Oh, so you're fishing 8th again?
for everybody saying basement for Butler, I don't think this is a basement team in the Big East. We'll get there eventually.
All right. Well, let's jump on over to a team that everybody, I think, either loves or hates, and that is. Oh, wait a second. I forgot.
Yeah, Mac thinks that UConn doesn't begin with C.
Wikipedia it said they were down there, so I followed Wikipedia.
Sorry, McDermott. I wasn't aiming for you, buddy.
Hey, McDermott's got 630 career wins, baby.
Yeah, McDermott just caught an unnecessary stray.
and this guy's actually probably one of the more likable coaches in the game.
I thought it was going to be UConn. If you're watching this, I thought it was going to be UConn. It's not. It's Creighton, the Blue Jays. McDermott has 630 career wins. He named his coach in waiting. How do you feel? Me and NC Nick
that was weird.
Me and NC Nick had a conversation about this where, like, going back to what we just said, where the second time with Thad Matta, has the coach in waiting ever really worked out?
It worked at San Diego State, or has worked with Dutcher.
Yeah.
And at least what's his name won at High Point.
Yeah,
but that was shocked he left with what High Point was spending. I was like, dude, he would have been like an SEC coach in like a year, right? And it was like, what?
That's my thought process. Like this very caught me off guard completely, because that must mean that McDermott's either on his way out this year or within the next couple. So that was surprising to me. Very surprising.
And what's very surprising would be if they sucked, which they never suck. At least not recently. I feel like they've just been a solid team. They have one of the best home court edges in all of college basketball. They return forward Jackson McAndrew, who averaged about 8 points a game for them. They also have Fedor Zugic. Is that what it is? Yeah, Zugic. I always don't start. We haven't even done BYU yet. But the 12
BYU's not that bad though. They're all NBA prospects.
That's true. I like this new BYU that we're seeing. Must-watch TV. You could argue BYU might be the most must-watch team in college basketball this year.
Oh yeah.
BYU versus Utah.
I can't wait. Jason Green also returns, a guy who averaged 5 points a game with them, and then what's Isaac Truitt from wasn't he at Virginia?
Trout, I think, right?
Yeah.
Isaac Trout.
Didn't he at Virginia? Didn't he transfer in from Virginia, if memory serves me correct?
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right.
And then Ty Davis, all returning. Fort Star Hudson Green comes in, and then the transfer portal. They go out and get Nick Graves from the Clits of Charlotte, Josh Dix from Iowa, Blake Harper from Howard. Those are all guards that are coming in. Owen Freeman from Iowa. So getting two of the Iowa guys that it just fits. The shoe fits, right?
White guys.
Yeah, but don't forget that they went out down to South Beach to bring in Miami, Florida transfer. Austin.
And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world.
Austin Schwartz coming in. We averaged just about 6 points a game with James Larinaga. But, man, this is interesting because what? I mean, you're seeing this team. There's no more Cockbrenner or Ashworth or what they had. Pop Isaacs was there for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I just trust the pedigree that we see in the home edge. Maybe they're not as good as they were, over the past couple of years, but I still think they'll be a good team. Just because I believe in the coach, I believe in that far ass trip in the Big East as a legit home edge. So I'll say, slight drop off, but still a good team and probably surprise some people. Coming into the season here. Mac, your thoughts on Coach McDermott and the Blue Jays?
Yeah, it's a new look group, new look Blue Jay group. I see Daniel asking, will they take a step back, a major step back because they lost Kalkbrenner? I don't think so. They finished in the top 4 of this Big East 9 straight years. 9 straight years McDermott has been in the top 4. So they've reloaded pre-Kalkbrenner. I think they're reloaded again. I like the Iowa transfers. I think they fit perfectly in.
The Staples, what's the name of that stadium again they play at? I'm drawing a blank.
I just call it.
It's CHI Omaha Health.
Something. Yeah, terrible name.
I was just there in the summer, so.
That's right.
It's
now,
perfect fit.
Well, you're not allowed. They have rules that you can't jump more than a foot off the ground. The Staples are sharp always, though, in Omaha. And if you do jump, like if you are a few years ago, who was it that transferred to K-State and then Texas? Kaluma?
Okay,
right?
He was there too.
Well, that's what happened is he started playing and they jumped. Well, what timeout? What the fuck was that?
Yeah,
right?
too athletic.
It's like, after this year, we're going to have to talk. We're going to have to talk, Art. All right? Anyway, Bienick, your thoughts?
This was the toughest team for me to figure out how good they would be, and I agree with Mac's statement. I think 4 is the floor, but Coach McDermott's been at Creighton for 15 seasons, about to be 16. The Blue Jays have made the tournament in 5 straight years. The previous 10 seasons, Creighton had only gone dancing in only 5, so 50%. In those 10 seasons, McDermott's defense is rated 98th in the nation on average. In this recent 5 straight tournament stretch, Creighton's defense is averaged to finish 27th nationally. The common denominator, we've talked about him a bit already, is Ryan Kalkbrenner. He became a program icon during that 5-year span and was unreal defensively around the rim. Big man Owen Freeman is the most important player to this Blue Jays team, and he comes in from Iowa along with Josh Dix, and it wasn't a very good defensive system. However, he did average almost 2 blocks per game, but Freeman had surgery on his MCL during the summer, and he hasn't practiced yet with Creighton and isn't expected to get on the court until late October. Creighton's offense, I think, is going to be fun and exciting to watch once again. They have so much shooting, but they're relying on a lot of production from transfers, and their most important player is not 100%. And we all know that leg, knee, foot injuries linger with big men. So, yeah, I have no idea what to expect from Creighton this year. I have them in the top 4, but I'm not super high on the Blue Jays this season.
Well, you're going to learn right away because they play Gonzaga in, I think, the first, 10 days of the season.
They're going to be
at the Kennel. I can't remember.
Which we didn't talk about this at the top of the show. Big East scheduled tremendously well because they've gotten fucked by the scheduling 2 years in a row. So shout out to the Big East. They scheduled aggressively. It was like a conference mandate to go out there and schedule tough in the non-conference.
Well, to give you an idea, folks, I can quickly rattle off some of these. Gonzaga's on the schedule. Baylor's on the schedule. Iowa State's on the schedule. Nebraska, which is traditionally on the schedule.
Yeah.
Those are all in the non-con. So it should make for a pretty fire non-con and obviously, the conference season as well. But going back to Butler as well, I'll just key in on that as well because I forgot to mention them. They play a few ACC teams, I believe, but at SMU in the first couple of weeks of the season, home to Virginia. That might be in a tournament. If memory serves me correct. They also get Boise State. They also get South Carolina. So maybe a little bit late, and Northwestern, another one there that they have. But yeah, maybe Butler's is kind of kind, whereas Creighton seems to be like, oh shit, you hope you got your guys, get everyone healthy and ready to go, because when you see Gonzaga, Baylor, Iowa State, even Nebraska now these days, there's some big challenges in that non-con.
Edward makes a good point too. Like, this is maybe a team to look to back in January and through March.
Well, they've done that a couple times too, where they've dropped games in the non-con. Like Kalkbrenner got injured 2 years ago and they lost 5 in a row. But I talk about, there's guys I trust. I trust McDermott. By the time we get to the new year, he'll find a way to get him back into the top 4, get him back to the dance. They're good every year in this league because they always have an identity. They're going to make shots, And to Colby's point, that home environment is a pain in the ass for those teams.
How much money do you
even
think
last year they started slow, and like Ashworth then got injured, but then once Jemiah Neal was able to have a runway, he took off, and then Creighton was really good. Go ahead, Colby.
I was just gonna say, like, throughout the years, specifically since they've been in the Big East, how much money do you think we've made on them at home as a moneyline dog? I almost feel like they might be like the greatest value for like when you think over the past few years when we've done this.
Yeah.
I just feel like every time they play at home, for the most part, we cash when they're playing like a top 10 team. We've
over the last 3 years, I think they've knocked off UConn as a big dog in 2 of them. Last year was Hurley's hurrah, and he was able to do a victory lap around the arena and whatnot. But I think Omaha has owned Hurley up until that point.
It's the first time he ever won there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got Pitino in that. I was pissed off 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They got Kansas there last year, too.
Yeah. That place is fucking legit.
Yeah.
So, they'll find a way. He'll find a way to the dance. And here's my thing, going back to what we started with here. I don't think he's retiring after this year because I think he wants to retire on a very good season. And I don't know that this is going to be a very good season. I think he's there for 2 more years, which makes that thing even stranger, Bienick, in my opinion. If it goes the way I think, it makes it even stranger. But yeah, anyway, moving along from Creighton. Let's go to a team. Shout out to Cannabis Capper. It's okay. He's not in the chat. Bastard. Right? It's okay. We're only talking about your conference, dude, and your boys. And that is the RuPaul Blue Balls, the DePaul Blue Demons, and Chris Holtmann, who, you know, you know what? You got to hold. Once you dial that, Jim, hold 69. For 12 minutes. Chris Holtmann, guys, I mean, look, I know there were year 1 was the same amount of wins as the year prior. Before he got canned, but at the same time, they got their guy, I think. They got their guy. Like, I'm excited. I'm not going to say this is going to be a tournament team or something, but I am excited. I thought they were just so much better eye test wise than we've seen in a long time for a lot of those games. But they return Layden Blocker, who averaged about 10 points a game for them, 26 minutes. CJ got a gun. He is back at 13
East
points.
Carolina guy.
Yeah, I know. This it's a pile of shit. Have fun in Chicago, right? I'm joking. I love Chicago.
Fucking snows there all college basketball.
Yeah. Go get a fucking bullet with your sandwich. All right. Isn't that the most misleading thing though? I feel like every time I've been to Chicago, it's been nothing but awesome. But yet you turn on the TV and it's like, it is the worst fucking place in the world. It is hell. It is absolute hell. And I'm like, every time I've been there, I've had like the time of my life.
Yeah, there's good pockets in every city and bad pockets in every city. Like,
stay around Wrigleyville.
Same thing about Detroit too. So
yeah. I like to hit the Green Mill. It's probably become hipster these days though. It's an old blues bar. Al Capone used to go there. Definitely ate some girl's ass in the stalls. Guarantee you. But anyway, DePaul. Look, so they return Blocker, Gunn, NJ Benson, who averaged 9 points a game for them a season ago, as well as Theo Pierre Justin. And then they go and get a bunch of guys in the portal. RJ Smith from the Colorado Buffaloes. Man, you just raiding all my teams, you crazy bastard, Chris Holtmann. Caleb Banks from the Green Wave of Tulane with L. Ron Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Brandon Macklin from the Whores of Radford, and Cayman Maker from St. John's, and Slick Rick, as well as Jeremy Lorenz from Wofford. They also have a pit deep on that bench, a pit transfer. that I know Mac's excited about. But also, how about the freshman coming in, 4-star Cruz McClure, and then Bienick, you were saying you were very confident in pronouncing this guy's name from Serbia.
Ilya Miljasevic.
Yes. Don't forget Fabian Flores coming in from Spain. All right.
You killed that one.
Yeah, I had that one circled pre-episode. Guys, they're not going to make the tournament, but they will. Here's all you need.
That's bold.
Here's all you need to know, though. I think if you're cannabis capper, they will be competitive more often than not. And I think that is a step. This program was legit. When I was growing up, this program was actually very, very legit. I don't understand why they can't get there. You're in fucking Chicago. All right. I'm joking about the bullets and shit. Yeah, you have a great time every time I'm in fucking Chicago. You should be able to be good. I don't understand it. You have history on your side. So that there's a blueprint. I know that the world's changed a lot, but I still believe, and this is one maybe being to your point with RevShare, you would think that this would be way more appealing than a lot of other places moving forward. But I think they got a good basketball coach. I thought he got kind of I thought, how do I say this? Because Thad Matta was definitely way better at Ohio State. But I thought Holtmann, they should have at least waited out the season. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Holtmann did a great job last year. All things considered, I know they went 4-16 in the Big East, but I mean that's a big time improvement from what they had been going. They made a bunch of shots, and I thought that he did a good job patching that first season together. So I think they take a little bit of a step forward here. I think they could finish around 500 maybe overall this time, win a couple more Big East games, but this was never going to be a quick fix, taking over the DePaul job. This program has been bad for too long, even though once upon a time it was good. So I like some of the transfers, some of the guys coming back. They're kind of in the middle in returning production. I think the DePaul job is a better fit for Holtmann, more under the radar than Ohio State.
Yeah, for sure. I agree there. I don't know if I'm as positive about this roster as you guys and about Holtmann as you guys. Like, I know DePaul's still a super tough job, but worst defense in the Big East last year, second worst offense in the Big East. And when they returned 3 guys from that offense last year, and they're expecting them to take steps forward and be better, I think they will. But I see they had 4 wins last year. I see really hard potential for them to eclipse 6. Yeah. I really do.
But they have the lighter. I think they wisely have the lightest non-con of anybody in the conference.
They need wins.
Yeah, they do need wins.
Yeah, so their non-con, by the way, I'm sorry, I don't mean to step with you, but Northwestern Crosstown, I think they play that often. Georgia Tech, I believe that's a neutral in some tournament. So they probably got another game after that that I'm missing because it's not on the schedule based on who wins the other side of the tournament. They head to Wichita on December 13th, and that's pretty much it. The rest, well, they open up with Chicago State, and we have fun with that loss. But then they take on the graveyard of Stonehill. So, I mean, look, they went for low-hanging fruit with Stonehill and Buffalo and Detroit Mercy and Morgan State. But I guess that's probably wise. You're trying to build your fan base back. Your fan base has been gone for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
So,
you don't have many cappers running around with the.
Yeah. I don't even know how Cannabis Capper's a fan of them personally. What happened? You lose a bet? What? What the fuck? Cannabis, please email me your 1 paragraph story on how the fuck you really became a Blue Demon fan. Sorry.
Like, I like CJ Gunn. He shot it quite a bit last year, not at a tremendous rate, but he did put up 13 and 4. And RJ Smith coming in from Colorado, he shot at 38.5% from deep on 3 attempts per game. The big one, though, for me is Caleb Banks. I really like this kid at Tulane, and there was some really good, you could see Tulane was much worse without him on the floor when he had an injury at that one point during his tenure there. But this is a really nice forward get, efficient shooter, can also stretch it out and take some threes. And last year he averaged 14.5 and 6.5 in the American, which is a solid conference. And honestly, if you're looking for a mid-major that can transfer into a power conference league, the American's not a bad place to look. And look at how CJ Gunn played last year. So for the most part, I'm relatively positive for the situation that DePaul's in, but I still don't see a whole lot of room for improvement yet.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the callback on the pizza conversation that we had. And I also, gosh, I'm really fucking this up. But I was recommended a pizza place by somebody when we had our Detroit conversation. I got to a Detroit pizza conversation. I got to a point where I had talked about how the Carolinas have shit pizza, right? It's just shit pizza.
Yeah.
Somebody referred me. I remember I go back and forth between them and Surfside or like South Carolina. Someone referred me to a spot, and if you're listening to this, please let me know because you know pizza. Someone, I can't remember the fucking name of the place right now, which I'm doing it no justice. I shouldn't even talk about this shit right now. But
that one fucking guy's name. What's his name again?
Oh God, man! Let me tell you, I've been back multiple times.
Hey, Cap is in the chat.
In the next week. There we go. God damn it, man. Hold on. I'm gonna find this. But anything you want to add on to this, Mac? Because while I search for pizza. In South Carolina of all places.
No,
was it a Jets?
No.
Oh, damn it! That would have been a big win for Detroit pizza.
There's a big game for the Chicago natives tonight. The Cubbies play here in an hour against the Brew Crew. So they might be getting some pizza in the Windy City.
Yeah.
Capper, what's DePaul going this year? What's your prediction?
And Capper, what is the best place in Chicago to get a pizza? Don't
Capper's
send me to some
for this
fucking Uno pizza bullshit. All right, the best actual.
Capper's saying DePaul will not finish last. He's excited for the roster, and
that means the excitement is all over Chicago.
Do they finish in the single digits, 8th or 9th?
I have them 9th.
I can get there.
I have them 9th.
Yeah,
I think I have them 9th too. So I mean, like I said, that'd be a jump, man. They haven't been in the top 9 in the Big East in forever.
Yeah,
I can't find this fucking place, but it's awesome. All right.
I'm putting together my MLB.
It's gonna take me 30 minutes. I'll have it on the next goddamn episode. All right.
There you go. I was trying to kill some time. I'm putting together my MLB tour for next year. Wrigley's on that list, Capper. So we're gonna go get some pizza when I get there.
All I'll say is, but guess what though, Bienick? Going back to our conversation about pizza, this is a New York pizza joint in South Carolina. Oh. And it was not Detroit because I went in there and I asked. I was curious because for someone to refer me, I was like, "Is this Detroit pizza?" Yeah. No. We're from fucking New York. I don't remember the fucking name, but your pizza's fantastic and it's out there. And shout out to whoever fucking gave me the reference. Let's talk Georgetown Hoya basketball. This is my, I can't tell you. College basketball is not the same without Georgetown being awesome to me, or at least like the potential to be awesome. I grew up in the area. I remember just countless great Georgetown teams. And that's probably my introduction to college basketball. That in Maryland with Lefty Drizel and obviously the great John Thompson, may he rest easy, at Georgetown. And it's probably the reason why I'm a huge college basketball fan. So I think the sport is better when Georgetown is good. And unfortunately, they have lost that what is Georgetown essentially. And I'm hoping Ed Cooley is the guy to correct it. We should have had Clark on for this because
He likes his winners this year.
He's a big Hoya fan, which is fantastic. Clark, we got to hit that Hoya UNC game, and I'm hoping year threes historically under Ed Cooley have been kind of breakthrough seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that matters the sport is a lot different than the other year threes. But okay, so Malik Mack is back. Remember, he came over from Harvard, balled out.
A really good roster.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, who's a stud, he was improving. I don't know if I want to say stud, but he was improving. The big man, Julius, how do I say this again, Bienick?
Halefanua.
I love how I tell this to Bienick every time. That's going to be a new bit.
I like doing it. I like to try to nail him. I think it's Halefanua.
And then look, they got a couple guys deep that reclassed: Jaden Fort, Kayvon Mulready, and Seal Duaf. They went out to the portal, and this is where I think it's very intriguing. KJ Lewis comes in from Arizona.
Two veteran guards here.
Yeah, he could play. He could play D too. And then Langston Love, who, if the guy can stay fucking healthy, he has shown flashes of being fucking really good, man. Jeremiah Williams comes in from Rutgers. I know. I think the transfer thing was a little bit of an issue there, but Deshaun Harris-Smith comes in from Maryland. And then the St. John's transfer, who barely played at St. John's. Bienick, you were telling me you were a big fan of Vincent
Iwuchukwu. That one, he was at St. John's last year. He's a really good defensive piece. Not much offense to his game, though.
And then Isaiah Abraham comes in from UConn. I kind of enjoy the fact they're getting guys from their previous schools who barely got burned, so you have all the incentive to show the opposing coach, fuck you, we are good. So I'll say this. Take it with a grain of salt with me on this. I want Georgetown to be good. I want DC to be a college basketball town again, and Maryland. I even want Maryland to be good, even though they're in the stupid Big Ten. I want the whole area to be college basketball through and through. But I believe this is his best team yet. I believe they'll be better than last year if everyone can stay healthy, which I know there's a couple question marks there. Yeah. But I'm going in, guys. I think this might be the most improved team in the conference.
You dip your toe in the water and let me know how the temperature feels.
Mac, Ed Cooley to the big dance, and Hoya's back dancing again. Can it happen? Because I'm buying in.
Yeah, you're dipping your toes. I'm diving head first. I like this team, man. I think this is going to be a good defensive team. His Providence teams were really good defensively. That was always the identity of those teams that got to the NCAA tournament. Another year, Malik Mack in the system. Another year playing for Ed Cooley. I like.
Remember when people said he was Hitler?
Yes. Yeah.
What a world we live in. What a world we live in. Where a guy that John Thompson was a great mentor to. Yeah. In a sport where he was probably deprived of a lot of opportunities because of his skin color at a certain time, and maybe even still currently going on. And he leaves to fill the mentor's shoes somewhat, and he gets compared to Hitler. What a world we live in! Fantastic world we live in. Very excited to be raising my white tiger in this world. Anyway, continue, Mac.
Yeah, newsflash: Georgetown's a better job than Providence. Not even close. So yeah, I don't blame Ed Cooley one fucking bit for going to Georgetown. And I hope he gets back to the dance here. I think he is. I like this group. I like those two veteran guards that have played in NCAA tournaments. So yeah. Give me the Hoyas, top 5 finish, maybe even top 4, baby. Ed Cooley can coach, baby.
Yeah. And speaking of Providence, it took Coach Ed Cooley 11 seasons to actually win the Big East. In the other 11 seasons during his tenure with the Friars, Cooley hovered just on the right side of 500 in basically all of them. And I don't see why he wouldn't be able to get to 500 or slightly better with this roster this year. Because there's different stages of winning the Big East. Like I said, 11 seasons to get there, or just 3 seasons and have a winning record. And I think that's what Georgetown fans would be satisfied with in year 3. And if you asked us, and I think we did during one of these episodes during the coaching carousel 3 years ago, when we said, when will Ed Cooley have Georgetown rolling? Year 3 was a pretty common answer, not only by us, but like everybody else kind of in the media space as well. Like, I do think that this is his best opportunity. Losing Thomas Sorber and Micah Peavy, just they're gigantic pieces from last year's team. Both of them, though, excelled under Cooley and his staff's tutelage. Like, Sorber coming in, I don't think was a lottery prospect, and Peavy had been the previous 2 destinations previously to Georgetown. So him turning into a round 1 pick, I don't think was thought of prior to getting to Georgetown. So it's a tall task. I think that Hoyas could be able to replace those 2 players in the aggregate here. Georgetown's got speed, size, physicality on this roster. There's not a lot of shooting here, especially when Langston Love inevitably gets hurt. But I like Malik Mack and KJ Lewis. They're both physical guards that are going to get downhill and do it pretty well. So, I've got Georgetown in that 5 to 6 range that Mac was talking about. So,
you know what they're missing?
Shoot.
The home edge.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they got to win.
I saw Troy.
Bandwagon area.
I saw Troy talking about it. He might be the only person that likes the Capital One Arena in that area for Georgetown.
Why is that? He knows why? Because he knows like a bartender that'll slip him an extra Modelo. Yes. Jesus fucking Christ! Yeah. Right? That's the only thing is there's no real home edge, and I do believe that burns them sometimes. They should play more on campus. Remember, they played a couple games on campus. I feel like
it's just like a really small gym, though, right?
But still, it like. Okay, John Thompson could get away with that at the Cap Center or US Air Arena back in the day because fucking Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, Reggie Williams, Allen Iverson, Sleepy Floyd, whoever the fuck you want to say, Othello Harrington, who's the guy that got who's one of my favorite players that got actually shot. He was with Iverson.
While you're thinking of that, Clark last year was really high on Thomas Sorber in the free season. And he says Jaden Fort is the guy to look out for this year. He's a reclassified freshman. He's, I think, a sophomore academically now because he was on campus during the season last year. But he's dealing with an injury right now. So, Jaden Fort, he's a nice piece. So.
I'm in full, so one of the hardest transitions, in my opinion, is when you go pretty much one of the things that plagues college basketball from my experience is they have the darkest offseason, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know what causes that, right? But it's when you jump back in October, I find it much harder than anything I've ever done as far as like covering college sports to remember who is the fucking guard I'm thinking of, Clark, that got shot. That was a baller though, mid-90s. Just my basketball mind is turned off right now. Victor Page. It's Victor Page. But if they can just get the excitement back, because Thompson was such a fucking legend. Thompson in the city was a legend. He played there in high school and shit. So, like, if they can just ignite that, the home edge is what's missing to me. The home edge could be, to me, I remember it back in the day, and I remember a bit like, okay, it could actually be like a legit edge. That is missing. The non-con, though, to their credit, first off, I need to play some goddamn music just for Hey! We got Maryland on the schedule.
Yeah, they got that dud.
Good God. It's like, being separated within, I don't know, less than 20 miles. You should probably play each other. I mean, how dumb are we? Right?
Who would have thought it would be Buzz in that, bringing that back?
Thank God that game is back. That game should happen every year. I don't care what conferences they're in. All right. They also have the Clemson Tigers on the schedule. They also have the Dayton Flyers. They're in a tournament. What tournament are they in again, Clark? They have the game at Chapel Hill that I was saying we got to go to on December 7th. So the non-con has its challenges, assuming you think those teams are going to be good. But I think that makes it exciting, especially like the regionality in a way. Like those are all kind of, the Dayton one, okay, maybe. But North Carolina, obviously, you got the classic matchups of the 80s. I know that's dating ourselves, but I'm old. Then Maryland and Clemson and stuff. So that's somewhat, there's somewhat regionality. I would love to see Virginia on the schedule moving forward. But yeah, great schedule. They're dancing, Mac. They're dancing, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get it back. People forgot how good a coach Ed Cooley is. He didn't forget how to coach. He builds his program the more old school way. He's not the biggest portal guy. He has added a couple nice pieces, but he's a culture guy too. So yeah, I got him in the dance this year.
Colby, that is the ESPN Events Invitational in Orlando. Florida.
Yeah.
BYU, Dayton, and Miami with Georgetown there.
That might be better than what we think.
Yeah.
I guess on paper when you saw that I know that was announced a while back, and you're just sitting there like, but I think it might be better than what you think. Yeah. This guy, come on, Ed. Let's get it going. Next up, before I get to the next team, I want to let you know that the college basketball experience is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on basketball, and football, and everything else. I mean, shit, you got the MLB playoffs going on. You got NHL starting, NBA starting. So you got a lot of opportunities over at MyBookie.ag. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. And I can attest to that because during COVID, I was betting the shit out of marble racing and Korean baseball. So I believe that was the best part about COVID. The Koreans just did not believe it existed. They were just like, yeah, fuck it. We're playing baseball. And I think they might have been on the right side of this thing to a certain extent.
I loved watching the NC
to a certain extent. I think they actually might have been on the hey, the rest of the world's overreacting. Swing the fucking bat. All right. Anyway, you can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market, and with Novig, you're getting the best prices because it's an exchange, folks. So, look, Novig's available in 35 different states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code. That is SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right. We are back, and we are talking Marquette.
Shaka.
Great Shaka Smart. He's done a great job getting this program back up after Wojo. The Wojo experience was not great, but Shaka's done a good job. But at the same time, he's had some problems postseason. I would say I've made a little bit of coin fading that. He's got 370 wins all time, and I think he's still a very good basketball coach. But you would kind of like to see him get a breakthrough season. It's that VCU run is kind of – what was the furthest he got at Texas? I know he had bad luck at Texas. That was a half-court game winner, right? Wasn't that Northern Iowa that made a half-court game winner against him?
Yeah, and then he lost to Abilene. I don't think he ever won. He never
3 first-round losses.
Yeah, he never won an NCAA tournament game at Texas.
Nope.
That's tough. That's
Abilene
tough.
Christian
Lost those games, but
yeah,
I guess the argument is those games shouldn't have been close. But anyway, he's done a good job reviving and bringing back the Marquette program.
One
year he was a 10 seed and lost an overtime game to Nevada. So
yeah, he had some crazy losses at Texas.
I mean, Texas would probably want him back, right? Am I crazy?
I don't know if he ever was really a good fit there.
Yeah,
he's more of a chip on your shoulder, under the radar, underdog mentality type coach. I think he's perfect at Marquette. He's from up there, and he doesn't use the portal at all. So yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah,
roster.
Well, he did bring in what was our boy from George Mason, the guard from George Mason who balled out for him a couple years ago.
Kolek.
Yeah, Kolek. And so he lightly used the portal, I guess you would say. Sean Jones, the reason perhaps why maybe the season didn't go as good as a year ago was Sean Jones was out with a torn ACL. So he is back, redshirt junior at the point spot, and I always feel like the point is very important in his offenses, let alone in college basketball in general. Chase Ross is also back. He averaged almost 11 points a game for the Golden Eagles a season ago. Zayd Lowry is back as well. Royce Parham, Ben Gold. I mean, this is going to be fascinating just because everybody, I mean, the bench, Demarius Owens, Trey Norman, Caden Hamilton, they got a bunch of four-star recruits coming in. You know, Adrian Stevens, Nigel James, Michael Phillips, Ian Melitic. Joshua Clark is a freshman that was a redshirt. They're excited. I mean, this is what makes, in my opinion, as much as you would probably like some type of change, some little changes, but part of what makes the sport so fascinating right now, and really kind of all of college athletics, is the differences in the approach to roster your team. And Shaka is saying he doesn't really buy into the portal, essentially, because I think Marquette has money. I know Marquette has money, actually.
Yeah.
And this is his way of building his team, and it's going to be fascinating to see if it works. I tend to think they'll be good again, and I think that will be an edge. I think there's a certain point to it. You know, it works against in football with Dabo Swinney. It works against him in a lot of articles and stuff you see, but it still got him to the playoffs a year ago. This year it's been a little different, but I think for each instance it's unique in its own right. But it makes must-watch TV to me, and I think they'll find a way to get back to the dance. Now, I still don't know that I see a deep run into the dance, but Mac, your thoughts on Shaka and what he's doing there in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I'm a big Shaka fan. I think he's done a really good job at Marquette. 4 straight NCAA tournaments. He won the Big East regular season and tournament championship. I mean, everybody remembers UConn won the Natty, but Marquette was the team 3 years ago that won both the Big East regular season and postseason. So they're banking on their guys stepping up. It's a development program. The backcourt of Sean Jones coming back, Chase Ross as well. I know a lot of people probably won't think this roster is sexy on paper, but that year that they won the Big East, we said the same thing. We're like, I don't know about this roster. It seems underwhelming, but he wins with those guys that are under the radar and have a chip on their shoulder. So yeah, I got Marquette in my top 5 and back in the dance because I trust that guy right there, Shaka.
Yeah, Mac mentioned great points. I had quite a few of them on my notes as well, so I'll try not to repeat. But they returned the second most minutes in the Big East, and we've seen what Shaka can do when his program has continuity. And he's once again banking on development from within his program. And like Mac mentioned, we saw that once before with that 2023 team that surprised everybody. They had just one returning starter. That was Tyler Kolek. And then everybody else was just marinated in the program for that first season. I'm not predicting that this year's team is going to be that bunch from 2023 that sweeps the Big East, but it mainly that reasons for I don't see a whole lot of great shooting. I don't see Cam Jones on this roster. But I do know that the defense is going to be good. And if this team can efficiently put the ball in the basket, I think there's an untapped ceiling here. I do like Sean Jones and Chase Ross as guards. I don't know if either one of them is necessarily like that go-to knockdown shooter, but I don't have Marquette as one of my Big East title favorites. I've only got 2 in that tier, but I think Marquette's up there. I really do think that there's a clear top 4 in this conference, and Marquette is one of them.
The non-con. Now, part of me hates it, part of me loves it, because they schedule super aggressively. They get the Indiana Hoosiers on Sunday, November 9th in Chicago, Illinois, of all places. They get the Buzzsaw returning. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, because if you know the story on kind of how he left and why he left and stuff, that's a great fucking game. Unfortunately, it's on Peacock. But they get the Dayton Flyers in Milwaukee. Should be fun to watch that one. Porter Moser returns to Chicago on November 28th to take them on in the Bad Boy Mowers series. They get the Wisconsin game, which they get every year, thank God, on December 6th there in Madison. And they go to Purdue in West Lafayette. But they do have, I see 3? Is it 3 Chicago games? I mean, would love to see those games on campus, but either way, it's very aggressive. The non-con
their fan base gets down to Chicago too. They always take over DePaul's arena. So,
yeah, I mean, I've done that drive. I think I took the train one time too, it's not bad. But I just wish the games were on campus. But it's still a pretty great non-con matchups, or a pretty great schedule for the non-con matchups there. All right, next up we got Kim English and Providence. I was on record as a skeptic of this hire, despite me saying they would be better last year. Or no, they'd be worse last year. What did I say? I said that they would be worse.
You had them as a disappointment, or
yes. And
not a bust.
Well, part of the logic was this. I thought it was a weird hire from the start.
Yeah.
I didn't think he did enough at George Mason to earn that personally. And I'm not saying, I mean, he may be a good basketball coach. I just feel like he didn't prove it. And normally I feel like normally your group of 5 coach, or whatever you want to say, the mid-major coach, normally they have a better track record to earn such a high-profile job. I was kind of shocked at that. I was wondering if Rick Barnes, maybe they called Barnes, and that was the tie-in.
Yeah, well, they were so scorched earth about Cooley that they're like, "Who's the next tree that we should go into?" And they were like, "Oh, Rick Barnes."
Yeah.
So it was a 9-game drop. Now I will say they did kind of load up in the portal some here. They return Ryan Mella, is it? Who averaged 6.5 points a game. Also Bienick, you were telling me you got his last name there?
I don't have this one, but it's like Aaron Wumse.
He is back. Corey Floyd is also back. And same with Rich Barron. All 4 back. They went out in the portal and brought in Daquan Davis from Florida State. They brought in who averaged 9 points a game with the Seminoles, Saudi Arabia State there. Brought in Jason Edwards from Vanderbilt. And this one, I think, is one you might want to circle. Jalen Sellers, how about that get from UCF? Both those ones, I think, pretty substantial gets. Duncan Powell from Georgia Tech, who averaged 12.5 with them. And then Cole Hargrove from Drexel. They got 4-star Jameer Jones coming in, 4-star Jalen Harrell coming in, and a couple freshmen besides that were off the grid essentially. But I look, the roster is vastly improved in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know how good of a coach he is.
Yeah, and I think this is like our chat's rolling along here too. Like, I think this is a very important year for Kim English because this roster is not cheap, and if he doesn't win with this roster, I think there's issues in Providence.
Well, I thought George Mason had one of the better rosters. No, to his credit, when he came to George Mason, they lacked severe athleticism, and Kim English was able to tackle that right away, and I thought it paid off. But I also thought it paid off from a wins standpoint, but they also should have been better. I thought, based on the talent that they had. This is one I gotta believe it to see it, or I gotta see it to believe it. God damn it, I can't talk. The talent is there for a good run, but I gotta see it. The more removed you get from Ed Cooley, the more I need to see it. So yeah, I think they're middle of the pack, but I got them on the outside, not making the NCAA tournament. Mac?
Yeah, I think you hit on a lot of good points. Roster wise, they looked the part. They have experience at the high major level. And I will say in defense of Kim English last year, Providence did have a lot of injuries. But they weren't very good even before the injuries. So
Hopkins wasn't his guy either, though.
Yeah, they had an identity under Ed Cooley. I don't know what the identity of this program is with Kim English. So, yeah, this is a big year. They spent a lot of money in the portal. We know how crazy their fan base is and how much they want to win up there. So, I think they're in the middle of the pack because I think the roster is good enough to get them there. But I can't get on here and say Providence is the top half of the Big East team when Kim English has got to go up against guys like Rick Pitino, Dan Hurley, Shaka Smart, Greg McDermott, Ed Cooley, night in and night out, guys that have proven it for much longer. So we say how good the coaching is in this league. Kim English has got to prove it if we want to start putting him in that category. So, yeah, I got middle of the pack for Providence.
Yeah, when we're talking about coaching resume as a head coach, this one probably 10th or 11th in the league,
11th,
in my opinion. So, and yeah, much to Mac's point, lacking in the identity. Year 2 of Kim English resulted in Providence's least wins total since 2010 and lowest KenPom ranking since 2012. Their defense in 2024 in year 1 was rated 18th on KenPom. Do you guys want to take a guess at where it finished in 2025?
Say that
18th
again?
in year 1. They finished 18th defensively in year 1. Where did they finish in year 2?
125.
I'm gonna say low 100s.
Outside the top 100, I bet.
134th.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
That's like I have no idea what your identity is if you come from a Rick Barnes tree and you can't play defense. That's really rough. Jason Edwards, terrific get for the Friars. He was a big piece at North Texas offensively for them in their lava-like pace. And then Edwards at Vanderbilt in a different system boomed. I like Duncan Powell from Georgia Tech and the Jalen Sellers ads as well. However, Kim English as a coach has never really had a good offense, and my hopes are not high with this young and relatively inexperienced front court, especially depth-wise. I don't know if they have any depth up front. So, I've got Providence right in the middle of the pack. It's a really good roster. Like, it's kind of top-heavy in my opinion, but it like Max said, looks the part of the Big East, but I've got some questions here. So, Friars.
And
NIT.
Well, I'm curious, like the schedule. I don't think they went like. It's an interesting non-con schedule because I think they kind of went light. They open up with fucking Holy Cross, and then they get the Mohegan Sun matchup against Virginia Tech on Peacock, by the way. And then Penn, and then they head to Boulder, Colorado to take on Thad and company, the Buffs. Then they're back at Mohegan Sun for a Penn State matchup. Then they're in San Diego taking on Wisconsin, and then they'll get the winner of the TCU-Florida game. And that's pretty much their non-con right there. That's winnable, though, man. Those games are, like, honestly, like against Wisconsin, Colorado, Virginia Tech, Penn State, they should be favored in majority of those, right? None are true home games besides Colorado.
So the only game in the non-conference that Bart Torvik has them as a dog is the Wisconsin game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said home games. None are true away games besides Colorado.
Yeah. I will say if they play Florida, they'll be a dog. If they play, who's the other one? I don't know. TCU might be a toss-up.
I think they might be favored against TCU.
Yeah, they could be. But they'll be a dog against Florida if they play the Gators. So.
All right, look, folks, before we get to our next team, I want to let you know that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter. Simply pick higher or lower in your favorite player's stats. It's available at a ton of different sports. Of course, college hoops featured there. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers, too. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it in college football and NFL. They were on fire in college basketball last year with their picks and props. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type of any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. So use the promo code SGPN25 when you download Rhythm, the app. That's RITHMM for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use that promo code SGPN25. And don't forget to let it ride. All right, we are back. And now let's talk about, oh boy.
There he is.
There he is. This guy. This fucking Rick Pitino guy. 761 career wins. 31-5, but a second-round exit a year ago to the Razorbacks of Arkansas. And a matchup I was terrified of, personally. And when the bracket came out, I go, fuck. But still, I didn't expect that bad of a shooting performance. And that is why they went home, I would say. It was something that plagued them all year. I think Rick Pitino is great for the game of basketball, personally. Which is why I'm so in on this team winning the national championship, Mac.
Let's go.
Ian Jackson. I don't know how he got away from Chapel Hill, but he did. He's in New York City now. I mean, look, they pretty much got rid of the whole team. They brought back the big
Zuby.
Yeah. What was the fuck's his last name again?
Ejiofor.
Yeah, Ejiofor. Yeah. That guy, I got better as the season went along, I thought, and if anything, go back to the Arkansas game, I thought he was kind of the best player on the fucking court for them. And then Ruben Prey is back, and Saduku Abinye Ayu is back, as well as Leoto Paulus. He's back, but he basically told the rest of the team, get the fuck out! RJ Lewis is still in his tears about this, right? Brady Dunlap. I mean, everybody get out. We're winning this thing. And they go out in the portal and bring in Ian Jackson and Osiah Sellers from Stanford, who averaged 14 points there in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Bryce Hopkins, you might have heard of him over the years. 17 points, 8 boards. He comes in, and then Dylan, you son of a bitch, Mitchell comes in from Cincinnati. And then how about getting Shannon from
Arizona State?
The Sun Devils. That was a nice get. Dylan Darling from Idaho State. We'll see how that translates. He bought out there. And Tamba, the NAIA transfer. Who the hell knows if that'll work out? And then you mix in the freshman, OD, Kelvin Odie from he's a top 100 recruit coming in. And they also got a couple sharpshooters from Europe that they'll be adding on this roster in Poto and Soljanovic. Either way, give him the natty now before he leaves. Guys, did he do it this year? Did he go out? Because I think he did it. Make it. I will say this. It seemed like they made it a point to get some shooters on this roster. When you look at the 3-point percentage from a year ago, from last year to this year, I see Ian Jackson, 39.5%. Sellers, 40.1%. I mean, Hopkins, I don't know, but 40%. The team in general, just Darling, 36%. Sannon, 37%. They went out and said, hey, we're never going to get bit by the fact we can't shoot ever again, or at least in the Pitino era. So I'm buying in. Give them the Big East championship now.
Yeah, I love this team, and they're huge. Everybody's between 6'5" and 6'7", with the exception of Zuby, who's 6'9" down there in the post. He was awesome last year and averaging 15 and 9. I think I know that a lot of people have raised question marks at the point guard position if Ian Jackson is truly a point guard. But I think they're able to run a lot of their stuff through Bryce Hopkins in the point forward role. Him staying healthy, if he can stay healthy and return to the Big East Player of the Year form that he was 2 years ago, St. John's can win a national championship. Dylan Mitchell's a good glue guy as well. And then they got three guys that came in and shot almost 40% from three last year, and Jackson, Sellers, and Sannon. So this team is going to be good defensively. They can make shots, and they got that guy. As long as that guy's there, they'll be right there to win the Big East with UConn, and maybe a national championship in Indy this year.
Yeah. Last year they swept the Big East titles with just the 68th best offense, and it was the 7th best in the Big East.
They couldn't make a fucking shot last year. It was incredible. I
think that's a very low bar to clear with this team.
Every game would have like an 8-minute drought.
It was painful to watch at times, but it was refreshing.
You can tell the nights I would get super drunk.
And the defense was the second best in the country. And Pitino's had a top 10 defense nationally in 8 of his last 12 seasons. So I think this defense is going to pick up right where it left off. This defense actually might be better than last year, which is crazy.
Well, I think it might be more athletic.
They are.
And it's a very low bar offensively for them to clear. Last year they swept the Big East titles. They go the second round against Arkansas. They honestly probably could have won that game if they just hit some shots. But I mean, that's what Colby said. Like they set out and they go get some offense to surround Zuby Ejiofor, who averaged 14 and 8 last year with over a block per game. And he's probably one of the favorites to win your conference player of the year in this league. Dylan Mitchell, tremendous defensive piece, both at Cincinnati. Like, he's been all over the place, but he averaged 10 and 8 with over a steal per game last year with the Bearcats. And you've got the length and the shooters, like Mac had already mentioned, with Hopkins, Jackson, Sannon, Isaiah Sellers. My X factor, though, is I'm like not as bought in on the point forward yet with Hopkins. I'm gonna have to see it. My X factor is the Big Sky Player of the Year, Dylan Darling. I loved him at Idaho State last year. I loved that Bengals team, period. They were 17 and 10 against the spread. I had to go look that up and like, why was I so high on these guys last year? But I really liked Darling. He was the heart and soul of that team last year. And I think he's just got an unbelievable motor. And I think Pitino may fall in love with that in the middle of the year here. And I think he's a big piece down the stretch. And that actually would be like their best option at point guard, in my opinion. And if that happens, I think this team hits their ceiling. Because if not, I do think that they've got some ball handling issues come March that might keep them out of the Final Four. If not, I think they're one of the best rosters in the country with a really good coach that could be playing in Indianapolis come April.
We agree too much here.
I mean, it's hard to bet against Rick Pitino. I think people forgot how good a coach he was. They remembered last year when he went in there and stuck it to UConn.
That was great.
Oh, it was great when he swept UConn.
We were getting a lot of hate for those picks.
Oh, yeah.
But, we came through even though Arkansas flushed the toilet on my dreams. I
was on Arkansas money line.
I knew it was a horrible fucking matchup. I was like, God damn it. Why did they pair them with them? Let's talk about the schedule for a second. They play Alabama at the Garden on November 8th, first week of the season, guys.
That's a fun game.
W.
FS1. They also get they're in that players era thing in Vegas. They're going to get Iowa State and Baylor in Vegas and a third team we don't know. They then get Ole Miss at the Garden on Peacock. Dude, the amount of games on fucking Peacock this year is going to make me take
the Big East switched to Peacock. That's why there's a lot of Peacock.
Where's their headquarters? Someone got a flamethrower I can borrow.
I hate Peacock. You can't multi-screen.
Yeah, you guys hate Peacock, but I think it's got the best presentation. Like when you're watching the game, camera quality, graphic design, production,
I'll push back a lot though.
All of that. I think it's the best.
Are you saying for football?
It's basically the same for basketball too.
I find it to be the worst for football. For
the score bug is outstanding.
No, that I'm okay with on that. But as far as
all their player graphics are great, the camera quality is superb.
The
announcers are not. That's not what I'm arguing.
The in studio analysts to me they're so forced. They're so it screams so corporate that it's like I don't trust anything that anyone's saying. And it's a major problem to me, and I remember that being the same in basketball last season.
I'll never say a bad word about Beeline, and I also like Hummel, but everybody else is okay.
It just seems too over the top to me, but I do agree with the score bug and stuff. I thought it looked, and the camera quality looks good, sure,
yep.
But the actual the
presentation, not like the broadcast booth or anything like that.
Because to me, it's just way too fucking corporate, and it has no feel when you watch the games. I remember watching, was it Michigan UCLA was on that last year?
Yeah,
and I was like, God, I fucking hate this. From that,
Big East fans will be at least happy to hear that John Fanta is with NBC now too. So
just have a little heart, have a little like just soul or presence to your talk. Like it's like everyone's sitting there saying, I think they'll be the third best team in the league. I don't want to fuck this job up. That's essentially what they're saying is like, whatever you say, there's no human feel to it.
And scared to get canceled.
It drives me crazy with football. I'm like, they couldn't pick a worse group with football.
It's horrible. That shit's awful.
Oh God.
It's like the NBC Sunday night crew. I'm like, why the fuck are they on the college game? They don't
with
watch
basketball. They have Beeline on the desk. I'll never say a bad word about that guy. And occasionally Hummel's on the desk, and I actually really like Hummel, but for the most part, he's calling games and not on the Peacock desk. So
it just seems too over the top, though. Whoever's producing it sucks. Like whoever's producing it is like they removed it seems like AI. Like I'm watching fucking AI. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing human about it. There's no vulnerability. We want vulnerability. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's funny. People ask me all the time when we run into fans of ours, or I'm not even saying for this show, but in general, I think the connection is what people want. You know, and I think people want to see when you have a bad day or when you got the game picks wrong. Show, like, in anything, we just want a human talking to us. You know what I mean? Like, show me your vulnerability. That's what made John Madden so great to me. Or you know, Dick Vitale was just, there's a human element to it where you couldn't replicate that really anywhere. You know what I mean? Maybe Frank Caliendo or some shit, but I'm saying, like, there wasn't, it was unique in its own selling point in a way. Anyway, the schedule though is as I was getting to, they got Kentucky in Atlanta, and I believe that is that. So Kentucky, I mean that's a major non-con schedule. Kentucky, Ole Miss. Someone that we don't know in the Vegas thing. Baylor, Iowa State, Alabama. That's pretty fire, right?
Yeah. Pitino teams always get tested in the non-con. Last year they took some tough losses in the non-con.
He's got nothing to fear either. His job's not in jeopardy. Like he's king there. So
yeah.
Who'd they lose to last year? They lost to Baylor and Georgia. Georgia was the one that got
Baylor game. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes saying, how did I lose money on that game?
Oh, that game was ridiculous. The half court shot. Yeah, they went 1-2 in the Bahamas last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife's probably thinking that I'm thinking of someone else, and I'm like, no. She's like, what are you thinking about?
Those were their only non-conference losses
Slick
outside
Rick
of
losing.
Arkansas.
Yeah,
Slick Rick.
They couldn't hit a free throw to save their.
They were up 5 with 5 seconds, and they lost on a half-court shot. Zuby missed both free throws.
Unbelievable. I'm still mad at that. Next up, we got Shaheen Holloway and Seton Hall. We were talking about them a little bit at the beginning of this episode. Only $1.5 million to really conduct this roster from an article I read. And you would assume that you would have less transfers when that's the case, or maybe everyone transferred for for more money. My favorite guy is back, being God's will. How do you pronounce the last name again?
Ariane.
Damn, you're fucking on point tonight. I need more alcohol. Jassim Felton is also back, as well as Asane Mbaye and Nija Hines and David Gabriel. All right, he's a walk-on. Shout out to him. They went out in the portal and brought in Bud Clark from Merrimack with the Warriors. They can come out and play. TJ Simpkins from Elon. AJ Staten McCray from Miami, Florida, with James Jimmy Larinaga. Elijah Fisher from Pacific. Dude, this is one that's an interesting get. I remember watching far too much Pacific basketball, and I remember him standing out to me. Trey Parker
stood out because he was like one of the taller guys in that league, 6'6", and able to handle the ball.
It's an interesting get though, because it could be under the radar. Like, we'll see if he can play at that level, but that one might be sneaky good. Trey Parker from the Pussy Pack comes in. Enough of being a pussy. He says, I'm off to Newark. Pat Sumanik from Oklahoma State. Stephon Payne III from the Dolphins of Jacksonville. Mike Williams III from LSU. And Josh Rivera from Fordham, the Rams. And don't forget Jacob Darr from the Rice Owls. You know, I'm a big fan of Shaheen Holloway.
Me too.
He's got to make it one more year. Just get one or two upsets.
I don't know if it's Seton Hall cutting the cord. I think it might be Shaw cutting the cord after this year.
Well, I don't know how hot of a name you're going to be after a 7-25 season.
If he throws out another like 11, 12 win season, he's kind of stuck there.
Where's he leaving for? Iona?
Yeah, I mean, in its 3 years, he has a losing record at Seton Hall, 49-53. I know it's a tough job, but you still got to find a way to go over 500.
How the hell is this that tough of a job? Someone
should have made the NCAA tournament 2 years ago.
Yeah, they won the NIT.
Got robbed. Got absolutely robbed that year.
Yeah, I really liked that team.
Yeah. But guys, I mean, I don't understand how they're lacking this much resources. Like, I don't understand.
Jersey.
You don't even have a fucking football program. So, like, before they would blame it on that shit. It's squeezing us. I don't understand how they're not better. This is a rich program as far as basketball. They had great seasons before under PJ Carlesimo way back in the day. Williard had them going. And Williard, I think, read the tea leaves, by the way. I think he knew this storm was coming, to his credit. We'll talk about him in a minute. But,
yeah, I'll say, like, we haven't said the words yet. Like, we're talking about the money issue. It's not a Big East roster. It's not.
Yeah. Well, the good news is you went to the Elite Eight with not a Big East roster. The bad news is
he has to play in the Big East every night. Yeah. he's a good underdog coach. And they, like last year, we talked about St. John's couldn't throw it in the ocean. This team could not make a jump shot to save their life. They were horrible offensively. Defensively,
still somehow beat UConn.
Yeah, it was great. Defensively, we know what we're going to get from them defensively. They're going to scratch claw just like Shaheen did as a player. I mean, they're going to compete their ass off. I just don't – there's so many question marks on this roster. A lot of guys transferring up. A lot of guys kind of taking chances on guys from the high major that were role players. I don't know, man. This is a bottom team.
I don't understand how they're broke. It's a conspiracy. Like, if anything, that might be his shortcoming. That I just don't know. You don't know it unless you know the program.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's money in them trees. You got to shake them.
The Bud Clark get to me is the most confusing one. I assume that Holloway knows what he's doing, but like Merrimack plays the zone over there, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to translate over here with Seton Hall, because that's like a special matchup zone that the Warriors. We literally just previewed the MAC. That's why it's so fresh in my mind. But and then also TJ Simpkins was a dog in the mid-major ranks. I don't know if that's gonna translate here. So because that's a guy that I really like, and he's not a very efficient scorer. He had a lot of volume at Elon, so. I don't know. They're going to win some games that they shouldn't. I have Seton Hall 11th. They're probably going to outperform that by maybe 1 or 2 spots max, because I think Shaheen Holloway is a good coach, but my hopes are not high at all. Like last year, I had them as my big bust. I had them like second to last year. I got them down there once again. I want to like this team because I think in the offseason last year, Mac and I had a draft of like coaches that you would want to coach your program or whatever, and I drafted this guy.
Yeah, he drafted Shaheen.
But it's just not a spot where you can win right now somehow.
It doesn't make sense, but I mean, especially I love the fact he's at his alma mater too. I think I actually think if there's one coach in the whole fucking conference, I know I do the shtick with Pitino, this would be the one that I want to work. And call Mo Vaughn. Didn't that motherfucker make like $100 million in baseball?
Mo Vaughn, what a name.
All right, didn't he? He was a fucking Seton Hall baseball player back in the day.
Seton Hall has 2 really good pros. The other one I think is I have it on the tip of my tongue. I'm looking it up to make sure I'm right. Biggio. That's who I was looking up. Craig Biggio.
Last year, they lost how many bye games? They lost Fordham bye game, Monmouth bye game.
Oh, they were an ATM in the non-conference fading.
Oh, they lost to Hofstra too. They were god awful.
That's Jersey on Jersey crime. Oh no, Hofstra's New York, right? Hempstead, right?
They did beat Wagner 52-28. That was
a hilarious game. I remember watching that fucking game.
The fact that they should have lost to St. Peter's, and then you look at the year that St. Peter's had, like they finished like second to last in the MAC. They were 12-16 overall, 7-13 in their conference. Like that should have been a red alert right away last year.
Yeah.
Am I crazy for looking up the net worth of Craig Biggio?
Yes, he's not donated to Seton Hall basketball.
Only $40 million. Disappointed. Mo Vaughn 100 and change. Why not? You filthy animals. Where's PJ Carlissimo? All right, someone's got.
Fighting with Carl Sprewell somewhere.
I'm gonna say we gotta send Sprewell to choke you out again, you crazy bastard.
I'm not sure if he got drafted this year or not, but Ryan Reich, there's one pitcher on Seton Hall that's really good, and if they're donating at all, that's where it's going.
Gosh, man, this is a team that I remember being nasty. Terry DeHare, come on. All right, next up we got the likes of
there he is.
This is where I was trying to go. Love him or hate him. You know, he almost retired, of course. I saw that clickbait out there. I almost quit everything. Almost retired.
He almost took the Kentucky job. Almost took the Lakers job.
It took me to a great place in LA. Me and my wife watched the Waves. Right? And
he's got the media world by storm.
I swear.
Look at him. Look at him right now.
Almost retired. Danny Hurley, 316 and 174. And I'll be honest, the guy can coach basketball. But good Lord, if you told me I had to vote, if I had to draw straws on which players would have to, which players or coaches would have to have a case of syphilis, I would. I'm joking, but god damn, can he be annoying? Like, I'll say this, like, it's always different when you meet the person. You know, sometimes the image you get from TV can deceive the person who they really are. So I'm hoping this is one of the cases because god damn, can he be annoying?
I don't know, man. The last time we saw this guy on TV, or at least like because he was on TV was when he was storming off the court saying that the refs cost him the game against Florida. And he said, "Good luck. I hope they don't do that shit to you," to Baylor. And then Baylor went out and got even fucked worse. So,
yeah, against Duke.
So it's like, dude.
Now, but here's the thing, though, man, and I have I for a long time I bartended in Beverly Hills, California, so I got to meet some people that I thought would be the coolest people ever, and they were dickheads, and then some of the people you thought would be the biggest dickheads ever were actually the coolest. I'm hoping that's the case with Danny Hurley. Because if he's in the zone, look, I still don't believe you can justify some of the ways he acts like a fourth grader, but
some of the best coaches are that way, though.
Yeah, outside of the stadium effect,
yeah,
maybe he's a fucking great dude, and I'm hoping that that's the case.
Because Cignetti's kind of the same way for Indiana football.
Wow, shots fired at Mac. You hear that, Mac? It's coming for you.
What with who's that? Bill Russo in the chat?
No,
he's
Bienick.
saying about what I said about
he's
Cignetti.
A Dub V guy. Kurt
Signetti. Yeah, Signetti does talk a lot of shit.
He's got a little Ric Flair to him.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hurley's great for the sport. He's great for the sport. He's hilarious. I think he's hilarious.
He is great for the sport. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
He's a walking headline. It's awesome.
Look at his
no
picture.
Denying that. It's very like you either want to root for it because his team he is a great basketball coach. There's no fucking hiding that. But at the same time you also it's a love-hate thing. It's like, why did the Dallas Cowboys become America's team? Or why did, they anytime you have a scenario like that where you can be so hated but yet so loved, it makes for a huge pro for the sport. So Caravan's back.
Huge.
He played like 38 minutes a game, I feel like. It was something insane. Terrace Reed is back. Jalen Stewart's back. Jaden Ross back, Solo Ball back. I mean, this is a very exciting time. They lose Peter McNeely's son, but and Mahaney. Remember when Mahaney went there? We thought that was great.
Too.
Remember that we thought that was such a great get. He played like 6 minutes a game.
He played he's a horrible fit.
I think Mahaney's going to be a dog with Santa Barbara though this year.
Yeah.
That's a guard system.
I agree. He's like he just didn't fit. But how about getting Malachi Smith?
Diarra is a big loss too. He was the point guard last year, so they go out and they get the 2 point guards here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Damari from Demery from
Georgia.
And then Malachi Smith from Dayton. Yeah. And don't forget the Lemoyne transfer. We love Lemoyne basketball on this show. Dwayne Karoma coming in there, and Alec Melender coming in from IU Indy.
He got away from that bus that it almost exploded.
That's true. That was we were breaking.
We broke that story.
Yeah,
hilarious.
and now we're at Pepperdine, by the way. That's our new school. Malachi Smith, though, that get was I highlighted that the second they got it. Demery as well, but yeah. This team's gonna be awesome. And shout out to Bill Russo, big fan of Bill Russo. Giving us $20. Let's go Huskies. I appreciate he does some shit talking too to Mac, which makes me appreciate it even more.
He's been talking shit for an hour 43 minutes about me. And
he would love to hear Mac start talking shit about his team.
Oh, I'll be going against UConn this year. No, all things considered, UConn's going to be good. They're top 2 in the Big East.
Isn't it clear top 2? Can we just stop bullshitting?
Yeah. Even though they did finish outside of they've only finished in the top 2 once in the 5 years of the Big East under Hurley. So one of their national championships, they finished 4th. But their roster is not as good as it was with those national championships. They lost
because they didn't steal one of our players.
Exactly.
The 2024 team was
you had to go win a couple of championships. You had to go steal the best university's player.
Tristan Newton.
Ever since then, we've never let anyone from Connecticut into Greenville. It's a fact. It's a real fact.
It's a fact of life. They not only Newton, but Cam Spencer, Castle, Klingon, and then the year before was Sonogo and Jackson. They just lost so many fucking guys in this program. I do think Caravan will have a little bit of a step back year. He did go through the shooting slump with the expanded role there, being the main guy on the scouting report. But I like Damari from Georgia. I like Malachi Smith from Dayton. Solo Ball will take another step, and so will Terrace Reed. So UConn, they'll be in the hunt again. Stay tuned if I pick them or St. John's to win it.
Well, I mean, you kind of already know with me, but
yeah. UConn's had 4 straight top 25 offenses and 3 straight top 15 defenses. UConn's offense is going to be very good once again. I think Silas Demery is a terrific kid. I loved him at Georgia. Thought he was going to break out last year, and then he did. So that was one of my better calls, even though I'm not so high on Mike White. And Demery's going to be a much better scorer off the bounce than Diarra. Solo Ball, Braden Mullins, excellent shooters on the wing there. Both Diarra and Malachi Smith are going to be able to dish the ball all over the place for this offense because Caravan can shoot it as well. I do think that Diarra's defense, losing that, could hurt because last year's defense wasn't very strong to begin with. In 2 seasons with Donovan Klingon at the 5, UConn has had 2 top 25 defenses. In 5 seasons without Klingon, Hurley's defenses have finished outside the top 44 of the 5 times. So last year's defense ranked 75th, and that was with the 15th best offense. That landed them a 8 seed in the NCAA tournament. So the defense is going to have to be improved this year. The Huskies are going to, I think, have to outscore a lot of teams to win most games this year. I think they frankly will. But how high the ceiling is depends on that defense. They need that to be better this season.
Yeah, sorry, there's high drama in this Phillies-Dodgers game right now.
I know, it's crazy. I'm watching it too.
But a spot-on take, though. I did listen to every word you say.
This is one of the best coaching staffs in America, too.
Yes.
They still have their whole staff together.
Anytime you got Bill Murray's son.
Yeah, and Kamani. Kamani and Luke Murray, they've been with – they can control Dan Hurley to a certain degree. By the way, when I Googled for these images on the slides, I said Dan Hurley meltdown. I had about 50 options. It was great. I was like, oh, this one's good. This one's good.
That's when you know you're doing something right, though, from his point of view. It's like,
oh, yeah. It's great.
The schedule I want to talk about a little bit here is they got the Hall of Fame series in Boston. They're taking on BYU. What, Danny Ainge put that on or some shit? Maybe, because he's high up at BYU, right?
Yeah.
They are playing on November 15th, so 12 days into the season, you get that game, followed by Arizona in Stores. Oof. Damn, Arizona plays in Gainesville opening night.
They played at Duke 2 years ago,
Credit
too.
to them. God bless them. Then you get the Illini at MSG on November 28th. What is that? The day, Black Friday, I think it is. They're going to Lawrence.
The Fog.
Yes, December 2nd. And then they got the Jimmy V Classic back at the Garden against the Gators. They also get Texas in Hartford. What a great non-con schedule. But let's talk. Let's just stop the bullshit for a second. February 6th, they're at the Garden taking on St. John's. February 25th, they're in Hartford taking on St. John's. Those, in my opinion, sorry, Duke, Carolina, because I love your rivalry. I think those are the 2 most anticipated games of the season for me.
Yeah, because of the 2 legends, coaches.
Yeah, I Duke, Carolina. Obviously, I'll watch every one of those games. Skyline Chili Battle, I'll watch. But those 2, I've already looked. I looked at those back like a month ago, and I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and I was like pinpointing the days. Okay, not doing anything this day, but watching those. All right, next up we got Kevin Williard in Villanova, 335 wins in his career. What What's the best comparison to Kevin Williard? Villanova, did they get an upgrade at the coach spot? Yes.
Yeah.
Did they not get Jay Wright? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, this is one where.
But did Jay Wright get to handpick this coach?
Probably, but I still
he likes Willard. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because you did a few Jaeger bombs and fucked a few broads or something doesn't mean that he's going to take you to the mountaintop. I personally thought the hire was quite lazy, in my opinion. Now, I still think he'll get them to the NCAA tournament, which they have been missing. But I don't, unless there's a difference with the amount of cash that's going in there. I still question. Go back to the Colorado State game this past year.
You think he's going to get them to the NCAA tournament this year, or just like in his tenure?
No, in general, I'll say most years he'll get them to the NCAA tournament. I just don't think he's a very good in-game coach, in my opinion. But, we talked about before, who were we talking about that said they got better as the career went on. And that's something that I feel like McDermott, yeah. There's validity to that. And maybe, and that does happen. Maybe this is a case of it. They return nobody besides Tyler Perkins. No relation to Sam. They bring in some big-time freshmen, a couple 4-stars, and Lewis at the point guard spot, Caden Lewis there, and Matthew Hodge, as well as Chris Jeffrey, top 100 recruit. And then they went to the portal. Bryce Lindsey comes in from JMU. Duke Brennan from Grand Canyon. Kind of played pretty well at Grand Canyon. Zion Stanford from Temple and the Owls. Devin Askew, please stop it. Stop it.
He's still in school. How old is he?
I can't root for this team. Devin Askew. Okay, hold on. Let me just stop it. This is Musa Cisse times 2.
I would like to formally request every reference that Colby uses Muhammad Cisse for, or Musa Cisse for, because he transferred all over the place when it really was just 3 destinations. I would like it on Devin Askew, please.
I think, Devin Askew is even worse. He's our new Cisse, but Cisse went 3 places, but 2 places twice.
Yeah.
So you don't fucking you're pulling a fucking Fox News or CNBC right now.
3 different.
You're not giving the facts. Yeah. He's moved around like the goddamn Monopoly man, but
Kentucky, Texas, Cal, Long Beach, and now Villanova. He's been everywhere. He's lived in the South. He's lived out West. Now he's in the.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He enjoyed Texas too.
I can't. This team's not making the tournament. I can't root for this guy. I can't. Like, at some point, it's you. At some point, it's fucking you. You know what I mean? Like.
Has he ever made the NCAA? I guess Texas.
Yeah,
he was a role player.
I think he made it with Long Beach, right?
No, they didn't make it last year.
Not last year.
2 years ago with Munson.
He wasn't there. He was at Cal.
He was at Cal 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't stay anywhere.
See. Here's the thing. You try. Like, I believe in the portal. I believe in better opportunity. But this is the exact case of the.
He made it with Texas in 2022.
Yeah, so he just said.
This is the exact case of the opposite. This is why the portal, like, to me, there should be restrictions. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. I don't know that you really learn anything from these experiences besides just running. And I don't think that's good. I think, I understand, college basketball is millions of dollars are at stake, but I also think it's a failure from a parenting point of view. It's like what are you doing? You're gonna hop around to this many fucking places. I don't think it's healthy for the game from the college side of it. I don't think it's healthy for him. I don't think you're improving him. You know what I mean? Like, any adversity, you just go to the next fucking spot. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the guy from nothing, and maybe he's a fucking great guy. I don't know, but I don't like the spot we're in. I am pro portal until situations like this come up. Unbelievable. How many years has he been in college, by the way?
He started the bubble year.
I mean, this is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. What do you make of the roster?
A lot of question marks. I mean, I think there's talent on it. I mean,
some Maryland transfers too come in.
Yeah. I mean, Askew's talented. He averaged 19 points a game. The kid from Temple's talented. But I don't know, man. They got 2 freshmen as well. How young? How quickly does it work for them? I think Williard will. One thing with Williard, the floor is usually high with Williard.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know how high the ceiling is. So I'll have Villanova middle of the pack year 1.
Yeah, it gets lost in the sauce because of the ass he made himself look like on the way out. Yeah. But Coach Kevin Williard is arguably coming off his best season as a head coach in his 18-year career.
But even with that, like there were games where I'm like, God, like the Purdue, was that Purdue hit the full court shot or Michigan State? If they are just coached correctly, that's the final possession of the game. The Colorado State game, I thought the same thing. Completely outcoached by Nico Medved. They got very fortunate. Or no, they lost that game, didn't they?
They lost. No, they lost to Florida.
Traveled and he hit the game winner.
But the in-game coaching was terrible. It stood out to me. I was like, dude, he's getting completely fucking outcoached. And my oldest brother is a diehard Maryland fan, so like. I probably have a better pulse, I think, than most because I pay attention a little bit more because that's his team, so we have something to talk about. You're right. The floor is high. But as far as in-game coaching, I think he's pretty bad. He's kind of got a little Mario Cristobal to compare it to football to him.
Yeah. Willard's had a top 35 defense in 7 of his last 10 seasons, and that's why I think the floor is high. But the offenses tend to get inept, like often with this guy. The good news is they have a Caden Lewis who's athletic with a great shot. And I think this freshman, if the offense hits rock bottom and they literally cannot operate, which tends to happen with Williard, this kid can create his own shot. And I think that possibly becoming a one-man show might not be the worst thing for an offense that can't operate. We saw that with Jameer Young just a couple of years ago. But I like what surrounds him, actually. Bryce Lindsey shot 41% from deep and almost 7 threes a game. And Duke Brennan almost averaged 10 and 10 in Grand Canyon. And he was 65% from the floor. Very efficient big man in the front court there. Depth is a little iffy, and this tends to happen typically in year 1 with a brand new roster and having to put it all together. But overall, I like the starting 5. Not a huge fan of Devin Askew either by any means, but I think I agree with Mac's sentiment is like I have them in the top half of the Big East. I don't know if they're a tournament team this year though. So
they'll be bubble. They'll be right on the bubble.
They'll be a bubble. Yeah. I can see them getting in like the first 4.
I could see too because I feel like they were bubble before with Neptune, and like as much as I'm shitting on Willard,
Willard is way better than Neptune.
Some of the ways they would lose games with Neptune was almost unbelievable. Shout out to Coat Chaos there. Cannot wait for the season to start. Best show out there across all on college sports. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, baby.
Thank you for that. That helps, man. Every little bit helps. We started this thing in a fucking garage. Had to push a lawnmower out of the way. So, yeah. With that donations like that, I'll be able to buy my own lawnmower. Right? No.
Hey, real quick at the end to put a bow here on Villanova. I will say Willard did go to 6 out of 7 NCAA tournaments at Seton Hall, and we were just talking about how broke Seton Hall is.
How far did he get in any of those, though?
He was always round to 64, but he got he's got a high floor. It's just the ceiling is pretty low too. You know what you're getting.
I don't know what year it was. I went in on one of those Seton Hall teams. I was sold that they're going to be like an Elite 8 team. I got burned heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy on one of those teams.
He looks dirty. Look at that photo.
Hey, I hope I'm wrong. I think college basketball, I said the same for Georgetown. Villanova, when they're good, I think the sport's better. So
I hope so too.
Yeah. All right, next up. All right.
The other slick Rick.
Dick.
House of the Rising Sun. Richard Pitino and the Xavier Musketeers. Let me ask you something, Mac. Is he a better basketball coach, X's and O's, than Sean Miller?
I don't.
Is this an upgrade?
No, I don't think it's an upgrade.
I feel like you're more of a Miller guy than me. I'm not saying it's an upgrade. I'm curious to see if it is.
I will say about Richard, I think has improved as his career has gone on. I would say that he's grown as a coach. Like at Minnesota, there was an up and down tenure. That is a tough job. But at New Mexico, I know they had the magical year last year. He only finished in the top 5 once in his 4 years there.
Yes.
And New Mexico is one of the better jobs in the Mountain West. So, I mean, he's got the Pitino name. That carries weight. I think he's gotten better as a coach. I would take Sean Miller over Richard Pitino.
It's going to be because I thought Sean Miller, especially, this is a perfect example of the second time.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't think he really did much.
He was way better the first time.
That's what I'm saying. Like I thought the second time I was searching for the coach. I was quoting John Robinson of fucking USC in the fucking 90s and 70s. But this is a perfect example of one. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I am not a huge Sean Miller fan, though. I'll say that. I don't think he gets
I can tell you this: fans in Cincy are not huge Sean Miller guys anymore either.
Oh no, he ain't gonna be allowed back there after they revived his career and he backstabbed him again. Come on,
classic scumbag to go to Texas too. I mean,
ridiculous.
Fascinated to see how this one works. Now let's talk a little bit about because this one, in a way, I almost feel like they're must watch to a certain extent just because of the drama here. Well, no one is back.
Yeah, I don't know what makes this one must watch.
Well, just the fact that Miller's gone and he's in.
And it's a Pitino.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And his dad's in the conference. Like it's a TMZ watch, but to me, there are fireworks and a flame lit, which makes for good content for us idiots talking sport on the interwebs. Roddy Anderson III comes in from Boise State. They're banking a lot on a guy that played major minutes with Boise State. A couple of years ago, he was out last year.
He redshirted last year. It was a really weird transfer in general last year.
I mean, you're pretty much getting a lot of Mountain West transfers or mid or Big Sky transfers. I feel like went out and got New Mexico. He followed him over. Philip Brovakanian. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just make up shit as I'm reading it. Brovikian. How do I say that one? Brovakanen?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Also, Jovan Milicevic, right? He comes in. Yeah, god damn it. It's that fucking Czech shit, dude. They're all fucking with me.
I would have thought that would have been a little bit easier. The first one I'll give you.
I have a hard time with all these names. Even All Right, who's a name from Valpo coming in.
Even All Right.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Luke Nazer from UNLV. So another Mountain West guy as well as Papa. We're calling him Papa. And DIA. And DA from UNLV comes in as well. Holy shit. And also Montana transfer Malik Messina Moore. I do remember watching him. He's pretty good, actually. Evansville transfer Gabriel Pizzato. Of course, you go get your Italians. He's injured.
He's got a torn meniscus, so he's out for, I don't know, probably the first half of the year at least.
Trey Carroll comes in from FAU and Anthony Robinson from Virginia. And don't forget Belmont transfer Isaiah Walker as well. In North Dakota, another Big Sky guy. Or I guess that's Valley, right? That's Valley. Used to be Big Sky in my year Pitino, who averaged 13 points a game. I mean, what the fuck is this roster, guys? I mean,
it's a train wreck, man. It's one that I don't want to watch.
It's like that scene in Major League where you're like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Right?
And then the manager goes, "Oh, it's my kind of guys."
Yeah.
I felt like at New Mexico, his old man went out of his way to help him out and give him a couple players,
a couple of
St.
supply
John's
drops.
and Iona. He ain't doing it anymore now that they're in the same league.
Correct.
Here's
my Iona mid-major conference player of the year for you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I shout out to all Himothy in the chat. Give us $20 there. He's kind of thinking what I'm thinking. Bad year one, just because it's an underwhelming roster. But I mean,
though.
Yeah, I'll buy into Pitino long term. I think that, like I said, I think he's gotten better as a coach. I just worry that at New Mexico, he had by far the most talented team last year. Now he's got to squeeze the most out of what is a bottom 3 roster in this league. So yeah,
correct.
Xavier's going to be in the basement for me.
This team would get smoked by that New Mexico team last
Yes, the New Mexico team had fucking dudes all over.
But it's almost like he knows it. When you look at the non-con, it's Marist, Lemoyne, Santa Clara, Iowa, which they'll probably be heavy dogs, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
McCollum there. That's at Iowa, by the way.
Yep. Hard to win in Carver.
Then Old Dominion. Then the Charleston Classic with Georgia. And then they get either Clemson or West Virginia. We know they beat West Virginia. But then the Crosstown Classic on December 5th. One of the greatest rivalries that no one knows about.
The radio game.
Dildos will hit you in the face. They have built quite an easy non-con. I'll say that. I think it's almost like they know they need that runway.
And one of the other positive things that I'm able to say about this team and roster is that Pitino does bring over some guys in his coaching staff. So having some continuity there helps as well. But his last 2 teams at New Mexico, they both had top 25 defenses. At Minnesota, playing in the Big Ten against Big Ten competition every single day, the Golden Gophers only had 1 top 25 defense in his 8 seasons. And that was Pitino's one and only winning season in conference play.
I thought he got a bad rap at Minnesota, though. I thought between injuries and between...
He had 1 winning season, like total.
I know, but I felt like they were chippy. I felt like they were chippier than most.
He was too young for the job to begin with, too. So...
He made two NCAA tournaments, which all things considered,
one of them was a below 500 conference record, which is like, how did that happen?
I just thought they were better eye tests than like. I know, like you probably had to fire him, but
they've sucked since they fired him. That's for damn sure.
That's what makes this one interesting. Is like I think the guy can coach ball. I think I understand he's probably gotten some gifts by being the son of a legend. Yeah. But I also think to some that makes you work harder because you want to be you are self-aware that you've probably gotten those, and that's probably making you work harder. And maybe that's the case here, but I mean, for year one, you can't be too optimistic, but I do find it must watch, especially with that home crowd behind them. Must watch.
Yeah.
I don't have. If you're asking me, are they in the NCAA tournament? No, I don't. But I will talk about that schedule. I think there are wins in the non-con that are available. I mean, I don't know where you guys are at with Cincinnati. I have no fucking idea with Cincinnati.
I don't trust Wes Miller.
I think this is Wes Miller's last year too.
Yeah,
they've had talent. I mean, they should have made a tournament by now.
Well, I'm saying that means they have. If that's when
kicked off Jizzle preseason too.
Well,
so.
My point is okay. Let's just say the Iowa one's a loss with McCollum there now. I mean, Snow White taking on Georgia. Okay, Snow White's done a decent job with them, but that's still winnable. That's achievable. You get the other Clemson Dub V winner. Okay. I mean, like, it wouldn't shock me if they got those. I would count them as a dog, but it's a nice runway to conference play. There's potential for them to be ahead of schedule is my point.
Yeah. But it's like we said with Providence, they could stack some non-con wins. It's when you got to go against these really, really damn good veteran coaches night in and night out. We'll find out a lot about Richard.
Yeah. I mean, but you got that home crowd. They have a great home crowd. Shout out to
They care there. They care there.
All right. And anything else you guys want to add to that mix right there?
I might take the Santa Clara money line on against Xavier. Was it the third game of the year?
I can
November
see that.
10th.
But there's pussy pack shit in there. But yeah. But no, I mean, I'm with you. I think early in the year, specifically with this much turnover, there's no one. There's no one back. So yeah, I think you have to consider that. All right. Well, rank them. Mac, why don't you lead the way, buddy? Who do you got at? What is there? 11 teams we said.
11.
Yeah. I'll save the suspense. I got Seton Hall in the basement.
I got the Pirates down there too.
I do too. Unfortunately,
I have Xavier 10.
I have Xavier 10 as well. Just too much unknown with that team. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I do too. I have them. I wish I could tell you I had. I thought about putting them ahead of DePaul.
I'm rooting for DePaul more than Xavier.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I thought long and hard about that.
I'd be more satisfied with DePaul finishing 9th than Xavier finishing 9th. That's why I have it that way.
Yeah. All right, Mac, where you at with number 9?
I got DePaul. Like you said, they cracked the top 10 or top 9 here for the first time in forever. So good job, Holtmann.
What the fuck? This is for me. Loving this conference, I feel like we are going pretty chalk here.
Oh, this conference is going to be very chalk because there's a clear top half and bottom half here.
Bienick loves when it's chalk secretly. He lights up whenever we start chalking it
up. So who do you got next? I'm assuming we all have DePaul at 9, right?
Yeah.
8, Mac. Who do you got at 8?
I got Thad. Same spot as he's been. 8. I want to put him over Tim English.
You have the same list as me.
Yeah. I have Butler 8 too.
Plagiarism. I'm going first. You guys are copying.
Plagiarism.
The answer is C.
And then by default, I think this next one is all the same too.
Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they probably have a top 5 roster, but I can't trust fucking Kim English.
I thought about putting Butler ahead of them. I was too close to putting Butler ahead of them.
I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah, Providence 7.
Yep, Mac. Who do you got at 6? So we that's incredible. I'm sitting over here taunting how great the conference is, and we go 5 for 5 on the bottom 5. Who do you got at 7, Mac?
I mean, we might go 6 for 6. I got Villanova. I got Kevin Williard right in the middle of the pack. I think that's what he does. High ceiling.
That's unbelievable. Bienick, tell me you have someone other than Nova, because that's exactly my list.
I have Georgetown 6th.
Hey, there we go.
Okay,
and I have Georgetown 6th only because there might be some lack of shooting issues with the Hoyas there, so we'll see.
All right. Who do you got at number 6?
5.
I'm sorry. 5.
This is where I got Ed Cooley and company. I got the Hoyas.
Dude, you have my goddamn fucking list. We didn't talk before this.
And I think we're going to go the same on 1, 2, so we'll see if 3 and 4 is the same. Yeah, we both think Ed Cooley gets him to the dance here. 5 bid league for the Big East.
Unbelievable.
I've got Villanova 5th. I think I like their starting 5 a little bit more than like a Butler DePaul, and I like the coach a little bit more than a Kim English, and I think I like some of the worst case scenario offense, I think it's better for Villanova than Georgetown.
All right. Well, at number 4, Mac, please don't say this.
Marquette?
Yes.
Creighton 3, UConn 2.
We're the same list. We didn't, folks. I swear to God, we did not talk before the fucking episode.
Shaka,
end the show. No, what's that?
My breakdown on Marquette is Shaka will find a way. Continuity wins out. Culture. Yeah, I'll trust Shaka to get in the top 4 again.
So I have Creighton 4th, mainly because the first year in like forever, they don't have Ryan Kalkbrenner. And the guy that they're trying to replace him with hasn't practiced at all because of MCL surgery in the summer. So big question marks there. So I have Creighton 4.
Yeah, at number 3, we have the same fucking teams, but yeah, I have Creighton at 3. Mac has Creighton at 3. Mac, why do you have Creighton at 3?
Greg McDermott. Same thing we just said with
home edge. Yeah,
home edge, and they'll find a way. They'll find their identity in January and February, like they always do, and make a bunch of threes and be electric in that building.
Bienick, who do you got at 3?
I got Marquette there. Yeah, I like Shaka, and I think there's a higher floor here than Creighton. So,
at number 2, Mac, I think we have UConn number 2.
Yep, I thought about putting them 1, but I couldn't. Rick Pitino greater than Dan Hurley. Let's go, baby. He beats him again.
Yep, I completely agree. I mean, I think Dan Hurley's fantastic. Unfortunately, Dan Hurley's got to be rooting for death because this is the one guy.
What did he say? What did Rick Pitino say he wished he had in one of those post game interviews? Like
he said he was a vodka or a whiskey.
Yeah.
No, it was like
no.
What's the water in your lungs disease or whatever.
Oh yeah. Remember when he said he wanted to kill himself every time he takes out a jump shots?
Yeah. I've got at number 2.
Please have St. John's number 2. Just do it for the show.
I have UConn number 2.
Damn
it! Their defense had real issues last year. Like the 8th seed in the NCAA tournament was not by mistake, and I don't know if it gets significantly better this year. I really don't. So I've got UConn 2 and the Johnnies 1 as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our show.
11 for 11. We've never done that.
I can't believe that, dude.
Who do you guys have winning the tournament?
St. John's.
No, I'm gonna stray away from that again. I know it burned me last year, but give me Hurley and UConn.
Who won it 2 years ago? UConn won it 2 years ago?
Marquette.
Yeah. No, 3 years ago. Marquette. UConn won it 2 years ago. UConn swept everything 2 years ago.
I'm going Marquette to win this year. That's a continuity roster. It might not have it all the way early on because they're gonna figure out some roles and need a guy to step up as a leading scorer. But by March, they might have that figured out. So there's my way too cute pick.
Yeah,
Hurley and UConn don't run the Garden anymore, man. Pitino and the Johnnies got that crowd back. Johnnies win it again.
I got
all right.
This is the Hurley. We need that. We don't need that many straight wins. That's what's terrifying.
They may just win everything.
They could
like UConn did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
For sleeper, since we all have basically the same order, who has the biggest improvement in win total in the conference this season for a sleeper?
Georgetown.
Yeah, that was
they had 8.
That caught my eye too.
Georgetown had 8, and they finished 7th last year.
We have them at 5th.
So does that mean they get over 500?
Yeah, 11-9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Georgetown as well, because I have Villanova above Georgetown, but Nova won 11 games last year, and I don't see them really winning more than that. So And then bust or disappointment. Who is the biggest decrease in wins from last year? And I think this one's a slam dunk in Xavier.
Yeah.
13 last year.
This is too chalky of a fucking episode.
Here, we'll spice it up.
I'm disappointed.
How big will the meltdown be up in Providence when they watch Ed Cooley get into the NCAA tournament next year?
That's true.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That is true.
It'll be on a scale of 1 to 10. It'll be like a 13.
It'll be great.
Last question.
I'll be poking the bear.
Last question. How many NCAA tournament teams?
They scheduled more aggressively.
They did. They set out. It was a league mandate to schedule aggressively in the non.
Give me 6.
Willard gets into the dating game. I like that.
6.
I've got 4.
They got to win some of these games.
I'm not throwing a life preserver or a life jacket or a buoy to any of those teams after the top 4.
I mean, there'll be opportunity just because they schedule more aggressively, but
Matt,
I guess it depends on how the other teams do as well. But
one more question for you specifically, my friend. Which conference is going to be better this year, ACC or Big East?
Ooh.
Because the Big East this year has got some sneaky, I think, dumpster fire potential at the bottom that may drag this conference down and pull like a Louisville from a couple of years ago.
The problem is they're hard to judge because one has 18 and the other one has 11. They're like 2 different leagues now. I'll say the Big East slightly.
Is their top better?
No, I think the top's better in the ACC, but there's so many average-ass bad teams in the ACC.
Okay. So you think the ACC's bottom is worse than the Big East's bottom?
I think they have more in the bottom just by a number standpoint. Because there's got 18 goddamn teams in that joint.
I think the ACC is more unknown, actually.
I think the ACC is a better league this year, Matt.
It could be. It could be. I mean, those are the 2 historic basketball leagues, the ACC and Big East. So they both need to be get these programs back.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, folks. Give Noah Bienick a follow on Twitter at NoahB77_. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on the SGPN. Don't forget YouTube.com/The College Experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. We are live every single night of the college basketball season, talking every single fucking game. Not many do that.
Trick or Treat asks if you guys are willing to throw St. John's in your preseason Final Four.
They'll be on there.
Providing everyone stays healthy. I hate preseason Final Four because you need to know like shit like that, but I would probably do that. If you're telling me everyone's healthy, I feel pretty solid about that.
I almost got 4 out of 4 last year. That's my calling card. That's my thing. But
yeah, they'll be on my preseason top 4.
I have them just outside.
That was a chalky NCAA tournament last year, though.
It was very.
One of the
chalky. Yeah, it was all the 4-1 seeds.
Yeah. No way it's that chalky this year.
Nope.
All right, folks. We got
at the time, the Auburn pick was not chalk preseason. I want that.
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm saying in general the tournament. Normally, you get that every 10 years or 12 years or something.
Yeah.
And it never normally stays like that. We'll see in this day and age where you could buy, you've heard every coach bitch and moan about it. So maybe there's validity to it, maybe not. We'll learn this year. We got a college football experience show, Database Top 25. We're going to go live in about an hour and 10 minutes. Check that one out. Database Top 25 college football news episode. And also Billy Gillespie reinstated at Tarleton State.
He's back.
There's always someone higher up you can go to. Like I understand. I understand. You think I was doing scumbag things, and I was, but they don't know that. All right, and I'm gonna win fucking games. All right, I'm gonna win games. I have no idea what really happened. I just enjoy Texas sports. Till next time, folks. This is the College Basketball Experience. If you're at ACC Media Days, come say what's up. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.